Hey everyone, Rich from Rich TCG Bets here. Hope you all are having a great day. I wanted to bring just another video to you guys of looking at the most valuable cards that you can pull right now from booster packs. So it's more of a like, hey, these are the top cards right now. I like having these sort of videos. I've done them in the past because I like looking back at them and seeing how cards have changed over time. But also I wanted to use this as kind of like a call out to you all to showcase what are the most popular cards right now and what are the most popular sets that they come from and IPs, and kind of talk about the correlation of that at the end of the video. So let's just go ahead and pull up TCG Player and take a look at what we have here. So reminder, again, I don't have an affiliation link with TCG Player. I submitted. I'm too small of a YouTuber right now. So maybe next time, if I'm closer to 1,000 views a year from now, then, or 1,000 subscribers, we can get it. But yeah, so I have filtered to Enchanted. And let me actually add in Iconics here really quick. So we have the most valuable from high to low market price, Enchanted and Iconics in Lorcana right now. So naturally, 8 of the top 9 are going to be the 8 Iconics that are out right now. This Mickey one, that's a little bit ridiculous. The lowest listed for $9,999. But we do have a market price here. But one thing that I just kind of want to showcase is very rarely are we seeing the lowest listed above market price. If we take a look at this Merida, we do have ones right here. So like this one is dropping, and to me, it's kind of like a screaming buy right now. As it's dropping, it's about to hit sub $800. There's nothing wrong with this. That person has a lot of sellers. But we do see something like Elsa where it's showing 600, but that's because they're the Japanese versions, and the first non-Japanese version is $950. We see other things like, what was I looking at earlier? Bell right here, where that one is below market price, but it's being sold by someone with no sales history at all. And so you do with that what you do. Everyone's got to start somewhere, but a lot of people are very hesitant on buying from people with no credibility, especially a card if they're going to be spending over $200. But yeah, the highest card market price, which again, you're going to see sales higher on eBay, but market price is $1,800. And if we look at this list of the top 24 cards, the top 24 cards in Lorcana are $200 plus, so $230, which is pretty crazy for a game that's quote unquote dead to have 24 cards in its 12 sets that are $200 plus. If we go to the next page, we still see several cards that are that. So we see 25, 26, 27, 28. So the top 28 cards are 200 plus, with a card like Jesse at the market price $1.79 below that range. But a lot of really cool cards here. I'll just slowly scroll here. Some of my favorites on this page are the It Means No Worries. I love these two princess cards right here, the Cinderella and Aurora. Those are their first cards that we do see in the enchanted form. I really love the Stitch card. And then anything else related is obviously really good. But this is going to be number 48. So if we go to the next page, number 49, number 50. And so crazy to see that Simba is not in the top 50, but again, lowest listed is for $240. But number 50 card is going to be Powerline. I love Goofy movie. That's one of my favorite movies. Not wearing a Goofy thing, but I am wearing something from the Mickey and Friends IP, which is Ghost Mickey. But those are the top 50 cards, and you can see there's a lot of cards here that are still amazing outside of that. So you have this Rapunzel card here that's really popular. Frozone and Jack Jack and Syndrome are some of the newer cards. And then you still see some cards from the first chapter, like the Mickey Mouse art Rogue. But then I want to go over to this Excel file that I put together, this Google Sheet file. So this shows every single iconic and enchanted card. It has them ranked from 1 all the way down to 212 based off their value. And we have this first table right here, which is just going to be market price of each set. So Fabled is number 1. Naturally, you've got those Mickey and Minnie cards that carry a lot of weight to that. But then you have Wilds Unknown, which is pretty crazy to see that a set that just came out is number 2. It's also kind of expected because there's a lot of hype with the cards as far as popularity and with prices when a set first comes out. So I do expect this total cost for the set to drop down to probably low to mid 3,000s once all set is said and done. But at the same time, this is the first Pixar set. It's gotten a lot of people back into the game. Like maybe it does stay low 4,000s, high 3,000s, and it stays in that top 3 spot. At number 3, currently we have Winter Spell. Number 4, we have Whispers in the Well. Naturally, the 4 sets that have iconics are going to be at the top. Number 5, we have the first chapter, which is pretty impressive in itself because the first chapter only had 12 enchanteds, while every other set, with the exception of Rise of the Floodborn there at the bottom, has 18. So Rise of Floodborn, the first chapter, has 18 enchanteds, and then these top 4 sets have 18 enchanteds and 2 epics, and I want to say 18 epics. So there's just a lot more that you can pull in these sets. But again, these we're only looking at the enchanted iconic prices. If we look here to see how many cards made it to the top 10, Fabled has 13 of the top 50 cards in Lorcana. Winter Spell comes in as number 2 with 11. The first chapter has 7, and then Whispers in the Well, you see like fall a little bit more in line there with 6, tied with 6 with Wilds Unknown. Reign of Jafar, honestly, one of my favorite sets, has 4 in the top 5. And if we take a look at their total set value, outside of the 4 with Iconic in the first chapter, like it's next in line with value. So honestly, a pretty low key buy right there. And you have Arcasius Island, Rise of the Floodborn, Shimmering Skies. Really crazy to note that in the top 50, we have no Ursula's Return, we have no Into the Inklands, and we have no Azurite Sea. Those 3 sets, with the exception of Azurite Sea, actually, sorry. So Into the Inklands and Ursula's Return were notoriously overprinted. They also have cards that are mostly out of rotation, and a lot of people didn't like the Enchanteds. And I'll throw an Azurite Sea in there as far as cards that people didn't like the Enchanteds. And so you can see that like that sentiment has stayed true for a year or 2 since these sets have been out, that people still don't really like those cards. These 2 tables right here, I wanted to take a look at the sets, just looking at Enchanteds, trying to put them on the same playing field. So we do see Fable remains as number 1, but Wilds Unknown drops from number 2 to number 4. Winter Spell jumps from 3 to 2, and the first chapter jumps from 5 to 3. And so something like Whispers in the Well and Wilds Unknown, which are more heavy on the iconic front, Buzz Lightyear being like a $1,400 card for Wilds Unknown, and for Whispers in the Well, the Ariel in Hades. They drop quite a bit when you look at solely just enchanted cards. And so you have every set at $1,000 plus, with the exception of these 4. Again, here with Rise of the Floodborn, I want to call out that they only had 12. So if you took an average and assumed there were 18 instead of 12, they would be at about $1,000. And so that's why they're at the bottom, is just they only have 2/3 of the amount of enchanteds as most other sets do, as all sets except for first chapter, which is at number 3. And so these first chapter cards just keep skyrocketing, and we're going to see the boxes do the same pretty soon. Similarly, if we looked at just the top 50 for enchanted cards only, we actually, funny enough, still have 13 from Fabled. So you take out the Mickey and Minnie, but 2 more coming right there knocking. Winter Spell is number 2. The first chapter is number 3 with 7. Reign of Jafar has 6. Whispers in the Well, Wilds Unknown have 5. Arcasius Islands 3. Rise of the Floodborn 1, and Shimmering Skies 1. That being that Mufasa for Shimmering Skies, and I believe the Cinderella for Rise of the Floodborn. But again, no Inklings, no Into the Inklands, no Ursula's Return, and no Azurite Sea when you exclude iconic cards. So just sliding over here, I do apologize. I wanted to get this video out sooner than I am right now, and just work's been busy. But I wanted to just call out like the IPs on this, but we can do this like really, really quick here. And so I'm going to just say like Mickey, Toy Story, Mickey, Disney Princess, Frozen, Disney Princess, Disney Princess, Disney Princess. This one's the oddball with Hercules, Winnie, the Pooh, Frozen, Disney Princess, Mickey and Friends, Toy Story, Mickey and Friends, Toy Story, Dumbo, Lion King, Winnie the Pooh, Mickey and Friends. I think you guys get the point. Like, I don't need to do this for all 200 cards, but let's just do it for one more Hercules. Most of the cards that we see at these higher values are going to fall into the IPs of Mickey and Friends, Toy Story, Disney Princesses, Frozen, and Winnie the Pooh primarily. And I would say like Lion King is probably next up there. I mean, like, I'll do a few more. Disney Princesses, Lion King, Disney Princesses, Frozen, Stitch. Stitch, Toy Story, Stitch, Frozen, Belle. We'll say that's Beauty and the Beast, but you get it. And the next one is Lion King. I'll stop there. But yeah, basically the point I want to show with this is, because I want to relate everything to like data and investing, there's certain sets that are going to do really well. The sets that have these IPs are going to be the ones that have the most valuable cards, which means the sets that have the most valuable cards are going to have the highest volume. And those sets that have the highest volume are going to be the ones that people are going to want to rip open the most at the end of the day. And so most of these cards are coming from Wilds Unknown, Fabled, Winter Spell, the first chapter. That's where we're going to see a lot of these cards with value coming in. And you can see that that's pretty true with the numbers that we went over. Those are the sets that are consistently at the top. So just wanted to like share all that data with you all and do whatever you want with it. But at the end of the day, like, that's why I don't invest into sets like Into the Inklings or Ursula's Return or Azurite Sea, just because there's not a lot of value in holding it. There's not a lot of value in ripping it. There's not going to probably be a lot of value in ripping it in the future. And I'd much rather put my money into places that people want to open the cards. And as like a collector of cards myself, like, those just have the better arts, the better cards, the better IPs. And I just know that me and myself and just other people like me, I mean, in the future are going to want to rip open those sets if they can choose. So just wanted to share this with you all. Again, do whatever you want with it, but thought I'd share this. Maybe we revisit this in a few months and see what other new sets have come out and how these cards are doing. Let me know if that's something you're interested in the comments, but until then, I'll see you all in the next video.